Welcome! This is a short course all on YouTube on how to make your first $1,000 from content. Today we're talking about how to get people to want to buy from you. And yes, in this video you're not learning how to go out to people and sell yourself. You're learning how to get other people come to you and give you money in exchange for your products or services. Hi, my name is Jordan Parker. I'm the guy who creators come to when they need to scale their business or when they're tired from the algorithm stealing all of their money. So today we're going to talk about how to get an audience of buyers and what really makes people buy. And to show you how all of that works, we're going to talk about restaurants. We're going to have 3 restaurants in this scenario. One restaurant is going to be innovative, another is going to be good, and the last one is going to be popular. And all of them might represent your business, so you want to listen carefully and pick the right restaurant to run. So on one end of the spectrum we have an innovative restaurant. So how this restaurant started is the owner looked at the map of the city and found a place where there were no restaurants nearby. No one else was selling food. He would have zero competition whatsoever, and every single person in the area is going to buy from his restaurant and no one else's. So this owner spends 8 months building the restaurant, making it pretty and beautiful inside, finding the best stuff and making the menu amazing. And then he opens the doors on the first day and no one comes. And then on the second day, no one comes. And then on the third, fourth, fifth day, no one comes. Eventually, even more months later, the owner realizes why no one is buying. It turns out that there is some dispute and no one is actually living in the buildings next to his restaurant, so no one really knows that he exists. This owner represents what happens when you go to a market trying to do things in a new, innovative way. Yes, there's always the dream and hope that you will make it and you'll be the next Elon Musk or the next Bill Gates or the next Zuckerberg. But what actually happens, and this is confirmed by any data you look on new businesses, is that when you try to innovate massively, you're taking a stupid amount of risk, and only like 0.1% of everyone who does that actually manages to build a business. Everyone else is out of business in less than 2 years. It is insanely risky and not the way to innovate in business. If you want to innovate in business, you build a stable business first, and then you invest a budget for innovation, and then you use that budget for whatever random crazy idea you have, and you take small calculated risks that can end up making you hundreds of millions of dollars if even one of your experiments turns out to be successful. But as somebody trying to start a business or scale a small business, you shouldn't be doing innovation. You should be one of the 2 other restaurants and just go where there are people already buying. And when you think about it, competition, the thing that people run away from when they're trying to be so innovative, is actually a very good thing. Because when you have competition, that solves one of the biggest problems in business. If there is a bunch of people competing to sell the same thing, that means that the market wants it. And if the market wants it, that makes your life as a business owner so much easier and your business grows so much faster. So don't go out of your way to create a fundamentally new business idea. Instead, create an old business idea, but do it in your way. Your way is going to be different and already innovative enough for this market, but the market will be there and you won't have to look for it. That leads us to the question, what are the other 2 restaurants? What do they do so they can succeed? Is it necessary for you to be good, or do you need to be popular, or do you need something in between? Before I answer all of those, and I will answer all of those, I want to invite you to join Creator Income. Creator Income is the result of me stealing business insights from all of the massive billion-dollar companies I worked with for 15 years. And I'm giving you access to every one of those insights when you join. If you're interested, go find the link below. I'll see you there. But that leads us to the other 2 restaurants. So restaurant owner 2 is obsessed over cooking amazing food. So she set up her restaurant in one of the busiest streets in town, and she wants to serve Michelin level food. And her food is amazing, but for some reason, she's not getting that many people. There's always some people eating every day and she's making some income, but at the same time, there aren't that many. There isn't a crowd of people waiting. While on the other side of the street is the last restaurant owner. A restaurant that is all pink and it serves way too many pink drinks and it serves way too many pink foods, but for some reasons this restaurant is always full and there is always a line of people waiting for it. And by the way, this pink restaurant makes worse food and worse drinks than the chef's restaurant. Why does this happen? This is actually the result of 2 things. The first is positioning, which we covered in the last video, but let me remind you, you want to stand out on any market. Being a pink ass restaurant on a busy street stands out from any other building out there. But what we'll cover in this video is the second part of this. It is the demand for this restaurant. So imagine yourself on this very busy street. You're walking down the street and you're very hungry. and you see two restaurants. One of them looks like a normal nice restaurant. It is a nice place, it is well lit, it seems to be very professional, it looks like a good restaurant. But on the other side of the road you see another restaurant. This restaurant is one very pink, which stands out and kind of makes you a little bit sick, but also this restaurant has a massive ass line of people waiting to get food. And now, assuming that you want to get the best food, you're probably going to choose the pink restaurant. Why? Because there is a line of people waiting there. And this fundamentally is how demand works on a very human level. What happens is that people want what other people want. And when a lot of people want something, other people start wanting the same thing even more. Why? Because if so many people like it, that must mean it's good, right? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good, because a lot of people can like bad things as well, but it means it sells better. So the lesson here is that if you have a lot of demand for your services, you'll start seeing this demand compounding. When you have a lot of people wanting your thing, you start getting more people wanting your thing, and then more people wanting your thing, and this process repeats almost infinitely as long as your business exists or doesn't screw up massively. Now, why this chapter is after the positioning chapter is because the positioning creates the initial demand. When you position yourself correctly in the market, like this pink restaurant, you get a few people interested. Then when you get those people to enter and eat there, you get even more people interested because the restaurant is now full. A full restaurant means a good restaurant. And then when this new group of people comes and waits in line, this attracts even more people, and so on and so forth. Now, how does that work for your business? When it comes to getting people to want to buy, aka finding that demand, you need to do two things first. One, you need to pick your problem correctly. We already covered that in previous videos, but you need to pick that very well, because if you don't pick the problem correctly, if you put your restaurant somewhere outside of town, you will not get as many people, because no one cares. So you need to pick a problem that a lot of people have and a lot of people are already buying solutions for. This is critical. Next, you need to position yourself as one of the different ways of solving this problem. People are not stupid. They have tried a bunch of things to solve their problem, and when they see your thing, they will want it to be different than everything else they tried. If you're different, you're going to make more sales. Now, if you got those two things, that means that you already have some demand. But the final component and the final lesson of this video is you always want to keep the demand higher than your supply. So if, for example, you're getting 10 new people interested in your service every month and you sell 10 slots for your service, you're never going to have a lot of demand. Why? Because when you get some demand, you create so much supply that you cover every bit of this demand and there is no leftover. And the moment people want to buy something the most is when they don't buy it. If you satisfy every single person who wants to buy or even inquire about buying your thing, you're never going to be able to get people to want to purchase, because it's so easy to purchase. There is no real reason for you to just go and fight for this thing. There is no real reason for you to hurry. So what you do early on is you put all of your effort into finding and fueling the demand that you have. This demand is going to be low early on, and that's okay. But because your demand is low, you offer even less supply. Instead of opening your schedule and offering 40 people to purchase from you every week, open up one slot per week. Make sure that you have people buying this one slot every single week and there is leftover before you open a second slot, and use all of the time that you just opened up to find more demand, to amplify it, and to make sure that you have even more people wanting your stuff, because you always want to leave people wanting more. When people get everything they wanted, they feel full and they don't want to eat anymore. But if you leave them a little bit of space to want your stuff, they will come back and want it even more next time. And that was it for part 6. If you missed part 5, you can find the link below. And if you want to see part 7, which covers how to get what people want exactly and how to offer it to them exactly, then you should go and click the link to that one. And yeah, see you there.